Hello guys, this is Mohsin Azam interacting with you from my YouTube channel Business Innovation. We will continue our third lesson of Planning Engineer and Primavera tutorial. Our third lesson was actually the condition of contracts, some important clauses we were discussing. So today we will continue from testing on completion and employee taking over. So first of all we will discuss clause 9.1 contractor obligations. Contractor obligation means the responsibility of the contractor. So the contractor shall give the engineer not less than 21 days notice of the date for which the contractor shall be ready to carry out each test on completion, unless agreed. The test on completion shall be carried out within 14 days after this date, as instructed by the engineer. So, as per the clause 9.1, once the contractor consider himself to be ready for the testing on completion, he should have to give notice to the engineer for the testing, but the notice should not be less than 21 days. And once the engineer instruct, he should have to proceed with the testing within 14 days after instruction. After this 9.4, failure to pass the test on completion. So here, as it's clear from the statement that if the contractor fail to pass the testing on completion after retesting as per clause 9.3, if the engineer reject any test, the contractor have to retest it again as per the clause 9.3. So the engineer, and after retesting, if again the contractor failed to pass the test, he will be entitled for order further repetition of the test. So as it's written here, if the work failed to pass the testing on completion repeated under subclass 9.3, the engineer shall be entitled. So as we discussed, if the contractor fail after retesting after repetition of the testing as per subclass 9.3, the engineer will be entitled for order further repetition. He can instruct to repeat the test again and again. If the failure disproves lacking specific benefit, the employee he can reject the work or section, in which event the employee shall have the same remedies as provided in subparagraph C 11.4, failure to remedy of defect. So the work which the contractor perform, if the employee fail to utilize or take any benefit from the work or the section, employee will be entitled under subclass 11.4. What is 11.4c? Employee can terminate the contract or the part which cannot be used and will be entitled for the recovery of all the sum paid plus the cost of dismantling. So after retesting, if the employee is not able to utilize the part or the full part of the work, he can terminate the contract and he will be entitled for the recovery of all the sum paid to the contractor plus the cost of dismantling, or issue a taking over certificate if the employee so request, or they can proceed with the taking over certificate to the contractor. So 9.4 is basically the failure to pass the testing on completion. After retesting, as we discussed under 9.3, what 9.3 is saying, that if the contractor failed to pass the test, he should have to proceed with the 9.3 for the retesting, but the cost for the retesting and or the remedy will be upon the contractor. But after retesting, if again the contractor fail to pass the test on completion, the engineer can order for the further repetition, or the employee can terminate the contract, and he will be entitled for the amount paid to the contractor plus the cost of dismantling of the part or complete project, or he can proceed with the engineer can proceed with the taking over certificate if the employee so requested. Okay, after this 10.1, taking over of the work and section. So the work shall be taken over by the employee after the completion, and taking over certificate shall be issued. So as it's written here, that once the work or the scope of the project is completed, the employee should have to taking over the project and he should have to issue the taking over certificate to the contractor. The notice for the taking over certificate shall be requested not less than 14 days before the contractor feel that he will be ready for the taking over. Here it's written that once the contractor feel that the scope of the project is completed, he will have to request for the taking over certificate, but the taking over the notice should not be less than 14 days prior to the completion of the work. The next one is within 28 days after the notice from the contractor, the engineer shall issue TOC with substantial work if any. So within 28 days after when the engineer receive the notice for the TOC, he should have to the engineer should have to issue the TOC. Either he should have to issue the TOC for the complete project, or he can issue the TOC for substantial or a part of work. But if it is not affecting the use of the work or section, so the engineer can issue the substantial TOC subject to a certain instruction which the contractor have to complete. But if it is not affecting the project or the use of the project, or he can reject the application, the engineer can reject the application by giving a reason or specify the work to be completed to enable the TOC to be issued. So here, once the engineer receive the application for the TOC from the contractor, he should have to proceed with the TOC within 28 days. If the engineer fail or reject the contractor application, the TOC shall be deemed to have been issued on the last day of the period. So if the engineer fail to issue the TOC to the contractor on the last day, the contractor can consider that the TOC is issued. If the employee shall not use any part of the work unless and until the engineer has issued a taking work certificate for this part. And here further, as it's written here, that the employee cannot use any part of the work before issuing the TOC to the contractor. Okay, next is defect liability. Defect liability as per condition of contract 11.1, completion of outstanding work and remedy defect. In order that the work and the contractor document shall be in the condition as per the contract by the expiry of the defect, by the expiry date of relevant defect notice period, or as soon as practicable thereof, the contractor shall complete all the outstanding work on the date stated in the taking work certificate, execute all the work required to remedy the defect or damage, notify by the employer on or before the expiry date of defect notice period for the work. So it's written here that upon the expiry of the defect notice period, so after taking the TOC from the employer, the defect liability period will start. So upon the completion of defect liability period, as it's written here, once the defect liability period is completed, the contractor have the responsibility to complete all the works, outstanding work which was stated in the taking work certificate, and the remedy of all the defects in the defect liability period which the employee instruct to the contractor before the expiry of the defect liability period. So as we discussed in TOC, that once the contractor receive substantial TOC for the project, he should have to complete all the outstanding work which was mentioned in the substantial TOC, and the contractor should have to remove all the defects and damages notified by the employer before the expiry date of defect notice period for the work. So before the expiry of defect liability or defect notice period, the contractor should have to complete all the outstanding work which was stated in the taking work certificate, and he should have to execute and remove all the damages notified by the employer before the expiry of the defect notice period. 11.2, which is cost of remedying defects. All the work shall be executed at the risk and cost of contractor. If it include design change for which contractor is responsible, and any material or plant not as per the contract, failure by the contractor to comply with the obligation. So cost of remedy of defect, as it's written here, that if there is any defect and the employee instruct the contractor to remove the defect or damage from the project, the cost of this defect will be upon the contractor in two conditions. Number A is if the design change from the contract for which the contractor is responsible. If there is certain design changes for which the contractor was responsible, so cost of remedy will be upon the contractor, or any material or plant not as per the contractor, or if he used any material in the project which was not as per the contract specification, so the cost of all the remedy will be upon the contractor. 11.3 is extension of defect notice period. The employee shall be entitled, subject to subclass 2.5 employee claim, as we discussed before. 2.5 is the employer claim, to extend the defect notice period for the work or section if the work or section after taking work certificate cannot be used for the purpose by reason of the defect or damage. However, the defect notice period shall not extend more than 2 years. So, as per the subclass 2.5, the employer can extend the defect notice period if the work or section after taking over certificate, if the employer is unable to use the part or the section of the project due to defect or any damage, he can extend the defect notice period, but he cannot extend it to more than 2 years. 11.4 Failure to remedy of the defect. Remedial work was to be executed at the cost of contractor under subclass 11.2, which we discuss here. Cost of remedy will be upon the contractor. So is written here that all the remedial works and the cost of the remedial works will be the responsibility of the contractor. Right of access. Until the performance certificate has been issued, the contractor shall have such right of access to the work. So upon the completion of defect notice period, the engineer, as we discussed before, that the engineer or the employer will issue the performance certificate to the contractor. So before issuing the performance certificate to the contractor, he can access the site. Performance certificate. What is performance certificate? Performance of the contractor shall not be considered completed until the engineer issue the performance certificate to the contractor. So it's written here that once the engineer issue the performance certificate to the contractor, then the project will be considered as a completed. Engineer shall issue the performance certificate within 28 days after the expiry date of defect notice period. So once the defect notice period is expired or completed within 28 days, the engineer should have to issue the performance certificate to the contractor. Demobilization shall be within 28 days after performance certificate. So once the contractor receive the performance certificate from the engineer, he can start demobilization within 28 days. Within 28 days,